Hello and welcome to Primetime Pastimes, the podcast where we talk to people in the wrestling space about their passions outside of wrestling. I'm one of your hosts, Steve, and with me as always is our other host, Gav. Say hello, Gav.
Beardy Gav today.
Beardy. It'll grow on you.
It will.
Well, our guest today is their density. It is their destiny to appear on their very, very first podcast. Oh, sorry. Ooh la la. One moment. I'm getting a phone call. Yeah, is that Greg the Hammer? I've got your cousin Taylor here. That's right. Taylor Valentine, welcome to the show. How are you doing, Taylor?
I'm very good. Thank you for having me. Super excited. This is the first ever podcast that I've done. And it was on my bucket list this year to try and do one. So very excited.
Well, fantastic. I'm very, very excited to have you and talk about our topic today. But before we talk about our topic, we are going to talk for about 10 minutes or so, maybe a little more with yourself as your first podcast on professional wrestling. So first of all, tell us what you do in the world of professional wrestling and tell us what your first experience is with professional wrestling as a fan.
Oh, what I do? I try to go out and put on a nice, entertaining match. Some people will say I do, some people will say I don't. That's up to everyone. My first interaction with wrestling, I remember watching it on Sky One on a Saturday afternoon. I just started high school, and that's when I'd kind of got into it. So I was on like 11 when I started, and it was nothing that I'd never seen anything like it before. And then it was the time when you had like your Undertaker, your Kane, your Triple H, your Rocks, and it was just all these big characters, and it was just, I just loved it. One of the first storylines I remember is Goldust being electrocuted by Evolution.
Yes.
And I was convinced it was real, and yeah. So
what do you mean real?
Oh, yeah, no, sorry. Close, yeah. Hey, I've got this boot on. I know that it's real, right? I know full well.
It's sure is. Bitch, you'd be tripping. And Taylor Valentine had an injury at Bolton Town Wrestling not so long ago, so she's rehabbing at the moment. What do you do when you're rehabbing? Do you watch match studies? Think about wrestling 24/7, or are you having a little break? No pun intended.
So at the moment, I'm just watching a bit of binge TV, really.
Okay.
Still watching like your SmackDown and your Raw and all that stuff on Netflix. Just enjoying some TV shows that I don't really get time to catch up on. So I've just watched, I don't know if you're familiar with a series called From.
Sure am.
Yeah, so
we're hearing a lot about this, and everyone's saying you need to watch it. We've been trying to find it, but I think we've found it now.
Yeah, so. It's really good. I just finished the new season today, so that was good. I watched
multiple promoters are watching it right now. Multiple promoters have come up to me and said, "Because I'm a nerd, have you been watching that From?" Yes, yeah. I have.
It's good. It's good. I really, yeah. When you think you've kind of figured it out. Something else will just twist in. You not figured it out. And I watched Elle.
Oh yeah, I watched Elle.
Yeah, I really liked it. I like Legally Blonde, so that was good.
Yeah.
So yeah,
hope to get a second season of that. It was very good.
I hope so. I think the girl that they cast to play Elle, I don't think anyone could have done it better. It was good.
It's like I'm looking at Reese Witherspoon when she was like 15 or 16. It's bizarre.
Yeah.
Not completely off topic. We're completely mind off topic right now. But there's an old film. It's allowed. There's an old film with Reese Witherspoon, and it's Mark Wahlberg's in it, and he's stalking her.
Is it called Fear?
It is indeed called Fear,
yes.
And her in Fear looks just like this kid who's playing Elle in the TV show, and it's just nanas. Anyway,
might be a clone. You never know.
It may indeed be a clone. Wait, it's professional wrestling, Gav. God, why are you throwing us off on a tangent? So, who was the first person that you actually saw in professional wrestling? Do you remember? I know the Gold Dust thing was your first memory of a story. Do you remember what initially captivated you?
I think so. I'm a huge John Cena fan. So yeah, and I think the Thugonomics guy had never seen anything like it before, and I was instantly drawn to that because of just how different it was. So that was kind of, it was always interesting to see what he was gonna do, and he did a really good storyline with Eddie Guerrero with the car park brawl, and that was something I was like, I just needed to see more of it, and then because it's Eddie Guerrero anyway. But yeah, it was just that, and then I was just in love with Evolution again. It was a faction that just every character was perfect in that faction for what it needed to be. It's only now when I go back and watch it that I'm like, every character was perfect, but at the time, I hated them like I was supposed to, and I know that's why they were doing a good job. So between the Evolution and the Thugonomic stuff, that's what kind of kept me going back to watch more of that.
When you decided to get in the business, did you go back and watch older stuff? Because people talk about Evolution, and the next sort of thing they will say is, oh, they were like our generation's version of the Four Horsemen. Did you watch any Four Horsemen stuff? Did you see what came before?
I didn't go back and watch Four Horsemen stuff. I went back and watched. So like I'm starting and I'm going back to watch classic Bret Hart. You Shawn Michaels and all that sort of stuff, all those bits that kind of get you to where you are. Because I realised quite a lot of people reference these things, and being sort of 10, 11 when I've started, I've missed quite a chunk of that. So yeah, I just went back and looked at how incredible HBK was more than anything. So yeah, I did a lot of backtracking once I'd sort of got my foot forward and tried to look at things that people say, oh, have you seen this? It's incredible. And I always used to say, I used to really enjoy as a kid, high flying and all that sort of stuff because it looked cool. But now when you go back, it's all your technical stuff that I find really mind blowing. That now I find that mind blowing.
So, who specifically are you referring to there, and have any of those people influenced the way you work as a professional wrestler?
So, in terms of technical, Kurt Angle, I really enjoy. There's probably a certain individual we can't say, but his technical abilities were good.
Let's go Inferno.
Yes. Who else? I think Daniel Bryan is probably one of the good ones. But for me, technical wrestling is not really. I use a lot due to size.
I've seen you do some tech.
I love tech, but it's just not in the storytelling that we need to tell. The big guy, little guy. It's not what I need to really be chucking out. But yeah, I love a bit of tech. So there would be the people that I would watch. Even if you're looking at your British people, like CJ Banks taught me loads of tech stuff. Like when I was being coached by him, he's phenomenal with tech. But no, I didn't really adapt any of those. I just like I said, I watch a lot of the big man stuff or big lady stuff now, as we can.
So let's talk about the big uns then. What other big uns do you take from and cherry pick from that you've watched?
I like Beth Phoenix a lot. I know she's not big, but she's quite.
Oh no, she works as a big woman though.
Yeah. So I watched a lot of her stuff. Just tried to start doing. She used to do a fisherman suplex from where they sat on the top turnbuckle. Yep. I tried that a couple of times. I really liked that. I feel like she was wasted in the era that she was used. I feel like she was wasted.
She was so young as well. People forget how young Beth Phoenix was. Because when she came back, I don't think she was even 40 when she came back for sort of that final run with Edge. It was she was not an older woman. She's younger than me.
Yeah, I feel like she could, I feel like she could have done another run then.
Yeah, I agree.
With some of the people that they've got now. I think I didn't like the way that they brought her back and she got RKO by Randy Orton and sold it like, and I'm like, come on, you've been throwing Santina Morella around for like a year. When you had that split, I'm not believing that's going to keep you down like that. But I don't book the stories.
You don't book the story?
I don't. If I did, it'd be very different.
It did feel rather out of nowhere. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
let's talk a little bit about why you got into the business, who you saw and thought, or the moment you thought, do you know what? I want to give this a go.
So from like as soon as I watched it, I told everyone this is what I want to be. I'm going to be a wrestler when I grow up. I find it a bit challenging because never exactly fitted the mold of what a female wrestler should look like. I'm quite tomboyish, so I don't dress. Special occasions I'll fancy myself up, a little dress and whatnot. But most of the time you'll catch me in some joggers and some trainers or whatever. So when I was watching these people growing up, apart from like Yolita, that was a bit more tomboyish, but still, incredibly beautiful. It was just like I didn't fit into that. Wasn't confident enough in myself, and I just didn't fit that because the Divas era went through like tiny women, blonde, big boobs and all that sort of stuff. Yeah. So I just kind of convinced myself that I wasn't gonna do it. And then they did a thing called white collar wrestling at PCW. And I'd lost, my auntie had died quite suddenly. She had cancer. We didn't know. They told us, and about 6 weeks later, she died. She only mid-50s. So it was kind of, look, as going through anything can happen.
Yeah.
I'm going to do this. I'm going to raise some money for the place that looked after her, and I'm going to do what I want to do because, that could happen at any point. Yeah. So I did it, signed up, did my 8 weeks, and as soon as I did my first training session, that was it. I knew that I wouldn't just do it for 8 weeks and leave. I knew that I've never done anything. It's the first thing I ever really stuck at. I've tried loads of bits. I played football when I was younger. But it's the first thing that I was like, I was in so much pain the day after from my muscles and everything. And normally for me, that'd be like, that's enough. But I went the next day and did the next session. And then I did it again and I'd puke because, the warm-ups are intense. And I'd puke and I'd just go back in and I'd carry on. And I just knew that it was what I wanted to do. So I just stuck with it.
Well, I, for one, am glad you did. One sort of final question on this before we wrap up and go into our topic. So I'm curious, you've painted yourself as a bit of an outlier on what you expected women's wrestling to be. Do you now feel the pressure to perform and have kids look at you and think, oh, well, if Taylor Valentine's looks like this and she can do it, then maybe I've got a chance. Do you ever feel like that, or do you try and not think about things like that?
I'm hoping if I can just give one little girl that sees me that might be not super confident or doesn't fit exactly what they think they're supposed to look like, I hope even if it's just one that they go, oh, finally somebody who I can relate to, then that's that's happy. I'm happy with that. I was at a show a couple of weeks ago in Southport, and after the show, I was talking to someone, and she said it's nice to see someone who's a bit more meaty, and that felt good to me. Normally, being described as meaty would be like, oh, but yeah, it felt good because she might go away now and decide that's something that she could do. So that's all I really want.
And if that's the one person telling you, I guarantee you there'll be 10 others that haven't said that but have thought it. So, yeah, fantastic stuff. Great to hear. And I wish you all the best in your recovery. But let's move on from wrestling. Did have a great time travel joke, but you didn't like it.
What was your travel joke?
No, I see you didn't like it. I already tried it and I traveled back in time. And I've given up because you didn't like it. Great Scott, this is heavy. The way I see it, if you're going to do a podcast, you might as well do it with some style. And today's topic is the Back to the Future trilogy. Before our deep dive, one thing I hate is slackers. And I've definitely not slacked off when compiling this list of facts. Writer-producer Bob Gale came up with the idea when looking at his dad's high school yearbook and wondering if they would have been friends. The original idea was rejected 44 times by major studios, but Steven Spielberg's support, they eventually picked it up by Universal Studios, and it was the first film produced by Spielberg's Amblin Entertainment. Universal Studios head Sid Sheinberg hated the name Back to the Future and requested the film be named Spaceman from Pluto. In another moment of being a hero, Spielberg himself responded to the request in a memo to Universal saying, "Thank you very much, Sid, for the incredibly, incredibly funny joke you just made." And they never heard back from him. The main town is the same set as Gremlins on the Universal backlot. So if you look at that big, wide sweeping shot of the start of Gremlins and all the snow, it's exactly the same as Hill Valley. The success of the first film meant Universal greenlit 2 sequels, which ultimately filmed back-to-back, something that was completely unprecedented at the time. George McFly actor Crispin Glover was apparently a nightmare to work with and wanted as much money as Michael J. Fox to return for the sequels, so producers declined and used heavy prosthetics on another actor to make him appear like Crispin Glover. This resulted in an industry-changing thing, a massive court case which was settled out of court, and it now means that a person's likeness is protected under Hollywood acts. The words "to be continued" did not appear in the original theatrical run, but were added to VHS tapes. Michael J. Fox actually found out there would be sequels when watching said VHS tape. One of the inspirations for the alternate timelines, Rich Biff, was, of course, Donald Trump. The shirt Doc wears for the majority of Part 2 features a unique pattern of horses and railroad trains. That's easy for me to say, foreshadowing the third film. You can still see the same shirt being used as a bandana by Doc when he's hijacking the train at the end of Part 3. Whilst people will catch the Twin Pines Mall being renamed the Lone Pine Mall, Clayton Ravine is actually renamed Eastwood Ravine when Marty returns to 1985 at the end of Part 3. Oh, a lot of facts on that one. That's enough facts. Let's explore our feelings. When was the first time you saw the film?
I can't remember. All I remember is my dad lived at the old house, so we moved when I was 16, so I've got to have been younger than that. So I'd say maybe 13 or something, because we went to Universal Studios in Orlando, and it was the last year that they had the Back to the Future ride. And I went when I was 14, so it must have been before that.
Right.
And I just remember my dad saying, "Don't watch these films." I think it was around Christmas time, because it became on Christmas Eve we would sit down and we would watch all 3, and we'd do it every Christmas Eve after that. So I remember watching it with him, and I was like, again, it was just the story, the the characters, and I was just like, this is great. So we sat and watched all three, and then it just became a thing where we'd do it every year, but it wouldn't just be a 1 year thing. If it was always on ITV2, so whenever it's on, we just, we'll watch it. Doesn't matter where it is in the story or how many times we've seen it, we just put it on and just watch it.
So weird how many people that have been on the podcast have had similar stories where they've connected with a family member and they've watched something or they've done something around Christmas time and made it into a theme. So that's lovely. I want to talk about the Back to the Future ride because that's major FOMO. Is that what the kids call it? Because I always saw this advertised and I was like, oh my God, you've got to go in the DeLorean and then you got to go and you got to go through dinosaurs and I was gutted that it wasn't there when I was there.
So it was the very first year we went to Orlando.
Mm-hmm.
Me, my mum, and my dad had gone, and we'd gone with my uncle and my cousins and an auntie. So there was quite a big group of us, and yeah, you walk over the bridge. It's now the Simpsons. But yeah, you'd go in, you'd go through the thing. It was just like through the lab, into the DeLorean, and yeah, it was great. And then we went back the year after, and it was the Simpsons ride. And I think it's just an awful decision because when you go into the Simpsons ride now, it's set up exactly the same as the Back to the Future. They've just changed the cars, so the Simpsons cars and stuff. But the actual room is the, and I'm like.
Disney have done the same thing with it was originally the Tower of Terror and now it's something to do with Guardians of the Galaxy and it upsets me something rotten because that and Jaws I always wanted to be a part of those two
Jaws
rides.
Yeah, Jaws is brilliant. Jaws was great. Yeah,
great. I'm glad you all had fun. But,
never been to Orlando at all, so I've got FOMO for everything. So
we've got to stop saying FOMO.
When you walk about, they've got the train, and they've got the DeLorean. So we've got a couple of pictures there with Doc, Universal Doc, and again, there's another. Now I've started talking about. There's a memory where my mum had gone into one of the gift shops, and me and my dad had just sat outside eating this ice cream, and you've got the Back to the Future music just playing because this plays theme songs around the park. And, I've just remembered that was another thing. It's like, me and my dad, we just sat there eating ice cream and, we've bonded over that. And then it's another moment for us to bond over that as well.
Talk about the music for a second. We recently had an episode on the music of John Williams. Check that out, please. But what I love about the music to this is that the film's great, but the music elevates it to a completely different level. Alan Silvestri's score for Back to the Future, instantly recognizable. And I even like that there's a slightly different variation of it for part 3. How important do you think that music is?
I think it's just, you just know it, I think it gives me a nice feel when I hear it. It's just, I think because I enjoy it so much, every time I just instantly know what it is. And it just makes me feel good. Like I got so many different memories of that, and then I'm just a big fan. Like there's bits dotted all over the house. When I hear it, I'm just like, just take me back to this or take me back to that.
You've got to go back.
yeah.
So what bits are around your house? Tell us about what bits are around your house.
I've got the Lego DeLorean. Just the little small one with the Doc and the Marty. Upstairs, I've got quite a big collection of Funkos. It's becoming a bit unhealthy, to be honest. But I've got all the Back to the Future ones and the big clock tower one. I went to Comic-Con November to meet Cena, and while I was there, Christopher Lloyd was there. So I was like, I'm going to meet and I'm going to get him to sign my Funko as well. And I booked
guy from Star Trek 3. That's amazing.
And I booked they were doing a Q&A as well, and a couple of days before he was told by doctors he couldn't fly, and I was absolutely gutted.
Oh, that's so upsetting. Oh, that's not a positive end to the story. I was hoping for something better than that.
No, well, yeah. I was
Go back to eating ice creams with your dad.
So yeah, there's just bits. Like I've got I showed you that picture of that poster that I've got. That
You showed me the picture, but tell our audience what that picture was, because it's very cool.
So it's like it's the back of Marty. Let's see if I can show you on here. It's the back of Marty with the hoverboard and the DeLorean, and it's got the Nike shoes and stuff in. Let's see if I don't know if this will be able to capture it.
Yeah, we can see that. That's brilliant. Yeah.
But yeah, that's just so you can get reprints of it now. But when I bought it, it came from America because I bought it straight from. But I just couldn't not have it.
I get you.
Yeah.
I've looked at the trainers so many times when they've come up on eBay. They want like $1,000 for them, though.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not paying £1,000 for something I can't wear.
Got the trainer. I don't know if you'll be like. I've got it tattooed somewhere around here. Somewhere on this.
See it yet.
You know what? I'll just wiggle around and you can tell me.
All I can see is hog. Oh no, there it is. Yeah, got it. Yeah, excellent. Yeah. Good stuff. When you went to Comic-Con, did you get one of these? One moment. Can you see that?
No, I didn't get one of those.
The Out of Time baseball cap. Me and James Greenwood both saw it at the same shop, and we were trying to desperately get Jay Burnley to buy one as well, so it could be baseball cap triplets, but he wouldn't do it. So we're now baseball cap twins.
Well,
speaking of baseball caps, I've also got this as well, which is Jaws 19.
Oh, I like that.
Good, that, isn't it?
I bought this from Comic-Con. I don't know if you can. It's like a Marty McFly.
Oh, yes, I love that. That's great.
Yeah, I got that from Comic-Con. And I got another one. It was a Hill Valley student T-shirt, which was pretty cool, though.
It's such a stupid name, Hill Valley. Has anyone twigged to that before? Is it a hill or a valley? What are we talking about? Such a stupid name. I love it so much. Do you have a favourite character from the entire saga, excluding Marty and excluding Doc Brown?
That's a good question, actually. Does Uncle Joey count? Because we never see him. So
we never see him. Jailbird Joey. Yeah, sure. Go ahead. Yeah.
Or like Einstein or something. Does he count?
Yeah, I mean it'd be rough to exclude him.
I do like George.
Yeah. Okay. Tell us who George is.
George, Marty's dad.
Yep.
Yeah, I think he plays the nerdy teenager very well.
A little too well, according to some people.
Yeah. I just think he's a believable character. And I like sometimes how it's... Like, one of my favourite scenes in the first one is when he dresses up in the radioactive suit and says that he's an alien.
He's Darth Vader from planet Pluto.
Yeah, and like that... Yeah. How believable he is with that. I kind of like, I like his character. But I do like Goldie Wilson as well, I think.
Mayor Goldie Wilson.
Yeah, I think.
Re-elect him, damn it.
Yeah, I think he's a great character, so.
Well, he's barely in it. So how do you sort of equate that? Is it just because he symbolises so much, or is it because you just like the performance?
I think I like his character because he's sweeping the floors in the diner, and he's giving this life advice to George, and then he plants the seed, doesn't he, about being Mer, and then the guy's like, oh, when we get a coloured Mer, that'll be the day, and it's like, well, no, that and I feel like for the timing of that as well. And how significant that is, I think it's quite without knowing it, it's quite a big step. So I think just that little scene that he's in is quite, it changes perspective on, shows the jump in time. He's gone from sweeping the floor and, laughed at because, you're not going to have a black mare, and he is. So
one thing that a lot of film studies people and a lot of people who and who critique films for a living will say that this is the perfect screenplay, because there's so many threads in the film that connect to other things and that get paid off. Like the jailbird Joey. In any other film, that would have been a throwaway thing that you wouldn't have remembered. But because they paid off a couple of times in the film, and then you see in the Old West when he's in his little pen and stuff, it's there's so many little threads to pull. One thing I'm not sure if you'd know about. Do you know why? One of the reasons why George actor Crispin Glover didn't reprise his role in part 2 and 3. Do you know why? Have you ever heard about this?
So I heard that. Yeah, I know you mentioned before. I heard that he wanted more money to return.
Yeah, part of it.
I did read something about difficult being hard to work with, which I think you also mentioned.
Yeah, did you know about his take on the ending for the first film?
No.
So part of the thing was that he thought by returning to the end and then suddenly everyone's rich and everyone that persecuted them previously are now in a lesser position, like Biff, and he's got the car that he wants and he's got the girl that he wants. He thought it was sort of betraying the theme of the film, and he would have preferred it if it was more family orientated and they were in the same position, but instead of being completely out of love, like you saw in the beginning, they were very much in love, and he wanted that to be the only change. And that was apparently one of the biggest sort of points that they were complaining about and contesting on and on and on again, because he just didn't like the ending. And it's weird because everything about the 2 sequels is sort of proving his point, because it's not about the material gain. We've got the almanac. And he sees it says what can happen when Biff gets that, and capitalism runs wild, and suddenly you've got Donald Trump and hookers and whatnot. That'd never happen in real life, would it?
Not at all.
But no, I just thought it was a fun little thing that I didn't know if you knew about. Yeah, there you go. Let's talk about the sequels.
I don't see that. Sorry, as that.
No, you go ahead.
I like the ending. I wouldn't. They're in love, which is what they wanted. But when I see the ending, I don't think it's like, oh, he got back. He got to write his book, and he got his money, and he got his car. I don't. That's not how I ever looked at it. I looked at it as he got the confidence to write his book because, Marty went back and changed bits of his life to give him the confidence to do it. And he was successful because he was a good writer. And so, yeah, I never thought of that.
I was the same way until I was doing research. I never even really thought about that, because I did see it as being a good ending, and they were in love. And the only thing was that obviously Biff had been knocked down a few pegs, which I think is right for the story, because he did try and assault Lorraine 4 times in that film.
Yes, he did.
I know.
He should have been in jail.
He sure should. Like, instead of Uncle Joey. No one ever knows what Uncle Joey did. He could have been a horrible human being. So anyway, like I said, let's talk about the sequels. Do you have one you prefer to the other? Or, are they both as good as each other? Do you view it as one entire film, or do you segment it?
I prefer the second one to the third one. I think the third one got quite a lot of stick, and I don't think it is as bad as people make it out to be. I like the second one because I like the story of we've gone forward, we've gone back, we have to go. I like that aspect of it because you get a bit of everything in that one.
It's the most time travel-y one.
Yeah, and I think that story has to be planned out really well because you go into 3 different time zones, we'll call them. And then you're going back to the setting of the first one, but then obviously you've got your other 2 characters, your other 2 selves running around. I think those interactions are really good. So I was second and the third one. The second one's definitely.
I like it as well with the second one because a lot of the stuff that they do is now what we do. Like we're talking on Zoom now.
Yeah,
and obviously they've all got a video set up. They've got a background, which is a video background instead of pictures. They came out. People were having digital photo frames with it. It's just stuff that they've clearly had in the pipeline and gone, we'll just filter it through into this.
I don't think it was in the pipeline. I think it was just spitting mad stuff, and then everyone just sort of tried to make it happen. I made a list of things that have come true since that second film.
You did. I was expecting it.
Hoverboards.
Yeah,
because they did make not the stupid ones that they call hoverboards. They've actually made a real hoverboard now.
Is it like a spiral and electromagnetic thing that? Yeah,
exactly. But boy, does it hover, and boy, is it a board. So I'm taking it. Touch screens on TVs, social media on TVs, smartphones with weather apps, video calling like he did with Needles, digital currency, delivery drones, VR headsets, self-lacing shoes, biometric scanners. Boom.
Yeah, it is crazy just how much we're living in that now.
I want the flying car.
Well, I was going to ask you if you were to have anything from the film, would it be the flying car? Would it be the hoverboard? Why the flying car?
Just cool, innit?
I want the self-drying jacket. That'll do me.
Yeah,
no, I'll take that.
Yeah, I think that would be better actually. Clothes that they just measure to your size rather than the effort of having to go and find your size. Just push a little button and it'll just fit me.
It's like a loving family, I think. But not. What about actual merch? So we talked about some of the merch that you have got. Is there anything that's like your holy grail of merch? Do you want a proper flux capacitor? Do you want a DeLorean? What if you had an unlimited money? What would you get as far as merch is concerned from that film?
I think a DeLorean would be up there.
Would it not be difficult to maintain though, even though you have got loads of money? Because weren't they dead faulty as cars?
My mate's dad had a DeLorean in the garage, and we went round, and I sat in a DeLorean, and it wouldn't drive, but it was the doors would open up, and they don't survive at all.
It's not for practical use.
Just to look at.
Okay, yeah. I've got loads of money. I can just look at stuff if I want. So.
Okay. Next question on this one then. So you've got a DeLorean. Is it a proper DeLorean, or are you kitting it out to look like one of the versions from the films? I'm
probably kitting it out to look like the one from the first film.
I was going to say, because you got the first film. Have you got the one with the blender on the back, or do you want which version of the first one?
I want the blender. One with the. So when I bought the little DeLorean car, you could either have it as the second one. They give you the bits for that. You, and I was like, no, I want it to be the first one because I just wanted the pole on the back with the little hook. So
get it.
Yeah, just very simple, very. It's just that whole scene's just iconic. So I think
it truly is. Is that your favourite scene? And if so, tell us why.
Just the suspense on it. Like, it doesn't matter how many times I've watched it. Like, I know he's going to get there and he's going to plug it in, but it's just the music's great, the tension build-up's really good, and I just think it's really well done. I think my favourite scene though is when Marty finds Doc in the first one. He goes to the house, he's got a massive headset on, and he
so good.
Suckers that thing to his head and asks him all those questions, and then it's like, do you know what this means? Like, it means that this thing doesn't work. I think that's my favourite.
Do you know what my favourite is? And it's very, very similar to yours. I like the final scene in part 2 where they replay that scene, and then Marty comes zooming around the corner and running and says, Doc, you've got to take me back to the future. I think that is such a good scene because they
does it like right after that bit, and is what
right after it.
Yeah.
But how often do you get to replay exactly the same scene from your first film and then just completely blow people's minds with that little tailored bit at the end.
Mhm.
Oh, love it, love it, love it. Do you have a favourite scene, Gav? I feel like we've told you our two. So what's yours?
I don't know, actually. Mine probably is when he meets Doc, because he's just nuts. It is the same one, because he's just completely bonkers. And it's just fun. And that's what I remember the most about it. That and probably when he first travels, because obviously with all the, is it Iranian guys with the guns and
Yeah, yeah.
all that? Yeah.
Yeah.
I think though I need to mention another scene that's probably second.
Mention that scene, Taylor. Don't be afraid.
Got to be the Johnny Be Good.
No, that's fair. That's fair. Yeah,
Like,
I love that scene.
Yeah, that's just the whole thing.
Oh, the bit when he phones someone and goes, "Listen to this."
Yeah,
Barry, it's your cousin Marvin. It's so cringy though when he's going off on one at the end, and you're like, "Oh, you've gone too far, Marty."
Yeah, and kicking the speakers over, and he's on his back, and yeah.
Musical cameos in that film, or in those films. Are you aware of the 3 big musical cameos in the Future trilogy?
No, we got Huey.
Huey Lewis. Do you remember who he was?
He was when they were doing the audition in the first one.
That's right.
It's like, oh, you're just too damn loud.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Give me another. So one of them is quite obvious when you think about it, but you might not know the actor from the time. It's Flea from the Red Hot Chili Peppers.
Oh, didn't know that.
He plays Needles.
Yes.
ZZ Top, the guys with the awfully long beards, like I was going for right now. They play the band in the clock tower opening thing in Back to the Future Part 3.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's them, and they also sing the song "Double Back Again" for Part 3. So yeah, those are your 3 main music cameos. So we've talked about what your favorite film is. What's your favorite time period out of the entire trilogy? So you've got 1985, a classic 1985. You've got revised 1985. You've got alternate 1985. You've got 1955. You've got 1885, and you've got 2015. Which is your favorite? I didn't even read that. I just did that.
2015. Wow.
2015, yeah.
I like 1955. I think because it's got the mixture of he's showing him the camcorder and he's laughing about the president because he's an actor, and I just like that. I think the mixture of both together in that makes it interesting for the story. So I think 1955, and just how things were in 1955, I think, like it gives you a little glimpse of, like, again, going back to the Goldie story, like the laugh in the face that, a black man being in charge, and then we jump forward 30 years and we've changed it. So I do like the 1955.
I can never decide if they're showing 1955 through rose-tinted glasses or if they're being like the opposite, and they're showing, actually, you might have glamorized this, but it's quite nasty. Because even though the aesthetic of 1955 is quite Hollywood glamorous, everyone are dicks to him, and you've got the bullies there, and you've got the sexual assaults, and you've got the racism and stuff. I can never quite decide whether they're being too kind or not kind enough.
I think no, go on. You go. I've talked enough.
We always look back, whatever year you're in, because we look back at 1980s. Well, I know I do because I'm old, and I remember it being amazing.
And same age as you.
Yeah, but it really wasn't. It wasn't amazing at all. But when I think of it back, I kind of go, "Oh, I'd love to be back in the 1980s." I don't think I actually would, to be fair, because it wasn't.
No. Yeah, I'm too glued to my smartphone now. So if you had a real DeLorean, Taylor, where would you like to go?
That's a good question.
That's a good question. Just say to the shops.
Yeah, just to the spa or something like that. Don't know. I don't know if I'd want to go into the future.
Mm-hmm.
You should never know too much about your own future.
Well, this is going to be my next question. Would you want to know too much about your own future? Because I don't think I would.
No, I feel like you'd make different decisions, and you're on a certain path, aren't you? You make decisions, and that's where life takes you. And I think you make them for a reason. If you knew that if you did this, you wouldn't do that, or if you did that, you'd get this. Sometimes your choices would be made for the wrong reasons.
Agreed.
So no, I wouldn't. I don't think I'd go to the future.
Okay. So would you go somewhere glamorous in the past, or would it just be like, oh, I'd love to see my great aunt Nellie?
Well, it depends if we're talking about a flying DeLorean or just a car DeLorean, because
I can confirm we are talking about a flying DeLorean. You can go anywhere in the world, anytime in the world. It's absolutely fine. I give you that permission.
I'm a bit of a Titanic nut as well. So I think if I could go and see that, not at the tragic end of it all, but sort of...
You just want to watch people die. That's a bit awful.
You know, like, just to see what it actually...
Just be above it all going, hi, you're all a bit cold.
Wow, Gav. Too soon.
Just to see what, because you see these pictures of it and you hear all these stories about it, but just to actually see it, I think that would be,
Taylor, have I got the film for you? You should watch Leonardo DiCaprio and Kate Winslet in the Titanic. If you've not heard of that, it's a good.
I haven't. Is it new?
It's newish. Everything's new if you've not seen it.
It's not like my fourth watch film or anything. I've got the Easter in, and that is, very close behind it. Actually, this is, we're going off topic here, but the day I came home after the injury, I was like, I'm going to watch some. I think Canada were on in the World Cup, and I came hobbling in and put the TV on, and it was football on ITV, or it was Titanic on Channel 4, and I was like, I'm watching Titanic. My leg hurts. I'm watching Titanic.
Taylor, your leg hurts. You just competed in a match, but I'll tell you what, your heart does go on. What else goes on is our conversation about Back to the Future. So, time travel in general. I know you're not a scientist. I've heard this about you, but if you would prefer it this way, would you like it to be Back to the Future logic, Bill and Ted logic, or Marvel logic? And if you need an explanation, let me know.
Ooh, I do like Marvel logic.
Okay,
like that's some good stuff.
Yeah.
Me and my dad again. You must think me and my dad don't do anything else apart from watch TV. But
what's wrong with that?
He'd not seen all the Marvel movies, so I kind of was like, right, we'll watch them. This was before I moved to my own house. I'm surprised my mum hasn't chucked him over here to carry on. But I was like, right, we'll watch them all, but we're going to watch them in timeline order, not release order.
I did that.
Oh,
yeah, okay.
It just, the things I didn't notice and how much more things make sense. And yeah, so I think I do like Back to the Future, time travel, but Marvel just did it like a little bit better.
No, I get you. I've got no qualms with that, no qualms whatsoever. Right, okay. Last thing about Back to the Future before our little quiz thingy. You've mentioned him quite a few times on this podcast, so I would be remiss if I didn't ask the following question. If you went back to the time your dad was in high school, would you be friends with your dad in high school?
Probably. Me and my dad are very similar. Most of the thing, apart from like the wrestling stuff, which I kind of found by myself by just watching Saturday afternoon television. Most of the things I get from my dad. My love for football comes from my dad. these movies come from my dad. I've like watching darts now because it was something that me and my dad will do. So yeah, I think we're pretty much the same. Much to my mum's misery. But yeah, I think we would.
And that, my friends, is the power of love.
Well, me and my dad would not be friends. I know that for a fact.
Well, that is a shame. Right, so we're going to do a little game now, and then we shall wrap things up. But before we do our little game, do you need to take your dog for a walk?
No, she's gone back to sleep now.
Okay. That is fine. We will carry on because I have heard a little whine, and I wasn't entirely sure it wasn't Gav, but
it might have been me.
Might have been.
She's
right.
You didn't ask me a question, so I wanted to cry secretly.
Because the light's on and she can hear the voices. She's just fighting sleep at the minute, so she's like an overtired. She's nearly 6 months old. She's called Bailey, named after wrestler Bailey, and that's how it's spelled as well. People spell it wrong, and I'm like, that's not how you spell it. We spell it Bayley. But yeah, she's just being nosy, so she's gone back to sleep now, so we're all good.
Okay, I've seen a picture of Bailey, a cutie patootie. Right, because Gav was complaining, and just because I wanted to talk about this for a second, I'm going to ask one more Back to the Future question, but I'm going to ask it to Gav. Gav, what do you know about the ending to Back to the Future and why it was changed?
Which ending? First, second, or third?
First one.
First one.
Why did they change a nuclear testing site to a clock tower? The answer is not because of the power of love.
No, it will have been because of the Cuban Missile Crisis and all that kind of malarkey, probably.
That wasn't the reason why they changed it, but, fair shout. So do you know this, Taylor?
Do not.
So originally, the plan was to have Doc and Marty find out that the only way they could generate 1.88 gigawatts or whatever it was to travel to a nuclear test site in Nevada, because they were very big in the 50s, and to basically hide inside of, because originally the time machine was a fridge. I don't know if you knew this. Originally it was a fridge. So they were going to take the fridge to Nevada. They were going to have a nuclear explosion, power the fridge, and propel it into the future. So the fridge changed because they thought, well, how are we going to carry this sodding fridge around with us constantly? And also, they were worried, they being producers, they were worried that kids would lock themselves inside the fridge, because back in them days, the fridges would just lock with the catch. So the entire idea was scrapped and said, right, you can't do it because of budget anyway, so think of something stupid, think of something better. So they thought about the Harold Lloyd sketch where he's hanging from the clock, and they said, well, let's just make it a clock tower. Let's make a lightning bolt striking a clock tower, and that'll be it. But one bonus fact,
Indiana Jones used a fridge in
exactly
to survive a nuclear attack. Well, exactly survived the nuclear bomb, didn't they, in the fridge?
Exactly that. Yeah, you've nailed it right in the head. Because obviously Steven Spielberg knew about this because he's Zemeckis and Gale's boy. So yeah, he later used that for the opening of it. Or not the opening, but the one of the scenes in Indiana Jones.
I think it was the opening. To be fair,
might have been. I did not pay attention to that movie.
How complicated does that movie sound with the fridge and the Vegas and the?
Well, it's too complicated.
And there could have been two guitarists.
Right, sorry, completely off topic. The telephone box was because of Doctor Who, right? The telephone box from Bill and Ted is a direct homage to Doctor Who, because that is also a telephone box. The amount of people that are blow their minds when I say that is crazy. Well, anyway,
because they look so different. Obviously, one's American, one's English. That's all it is.
They do. Yeah. So to the extent that people don't even think about it. Anyway, let's move on to our final bit of the podcast, which is our game. So I am going to give you, Taylor Valentine, if you accept it, a list of quotes from a film,
Just say no.
And then we end it just right there. A list of quotes. And you need to tell me if it is from To the Future. If so, if it's Back to the Future 1, 2, or 3. If it's not, I want you to tell me which time-traveling film it is from.
Okay. Let's have a go at
All
this.
right. Let's have excellent coordinated fun, the best kind of fun. If you put your mind to it, you can accomplish anything.
That is Back to the Future 1.
Sure is. Nobody calls me chicken.
That is probably also Back to the Future 1, or 2, or probably 3.
2 and 3. And I've given you
I think
2
he
or
says
3.
it to Needles, doesn't he?
He does.
Yeah.
Red Hot Chili Peppers bassist.
Yeah.
Lee. Yeah. The date, 12th of May, Thursday.
No.
That's from The Terminator.
I like the Terminator. Not enough to know its quotes.
Obviously not that much. People assume that time's strict progression of cause to effect, but actually it's like a big ball of wibbly wobbly, timey-wimey stuff. Some people will be screaming at this recording now.
They will.
Go on.
Doctor Who.
I'm not a massive Doctor Who person.
Okay. Nobody expects you to be. Since when can weathermen predict the weather, let alone the future?
That's Back to the Future 1. Oh, 2.
2.
It's when Doc's talk. Yeah. It's 2.
He says 2. Why don't you make like a tree and get out of here?
Someone likes to use them quotes a lot.
I do that all the time.
He says it in 2 because then old Biff smacks him around the back of the head and tells him that it's leave. But he probably says it in 1 as well.
He does it in both.
Yeah.
He gets corrected in part 2, but he says it in part 1 and doesn't get corrected. So there you go. You've got to embrace the chaos. You have to. That way, life might just astonish you. Hot Tub Time Machine.
Can't say I've ever seen it.
You are not missing much.
Oh, it's a great film.
Gav disagrees. Gav, you are entitled to your utterly ridiculous opinion. No wonder the circuit failed. It says made in Japan.
No.
Back to the Future, Part 3, when they are looking at repairing the time machine and sending him back to the future again.
No. See, 3 is my strong point.
That's okay. We're all like dust in the wind, dudes.
See, it's the dude things that makes me want to think that it's Bill and... Is it Bill and Ted?
Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure.
But I've not seen...
Indeed. The 70s and the 80s, you're not missing anything. Believe me, I've looked into it. There's a gas shortage, a flock of seagulls. That's about it.
Nope.
Austin Powers, The Spy Who Shagged Me.
I forgot that I forgot that I was in time travel in there.
There is a lot of time travel now. You did really, really well on the Back to the Future questions, which is brilliant for you. Well, much like the DeLorean, time does indeed fly. But before you make like a treat and get out of here, where can we find you on socials?
So you find me at Tay Valentine on Instagram. That's about it. I don't use Twitter or X or whatever it is. I'm not a big TikToker. I've got a Facebook page. It's just Taylor Valentine, and that is it.
Sure is. Well, remember, everyone, your future hasn't been written yet. Nobody's has. So make it a good one. And if you're working in the wrestling space, please get in contact with Talk the Line or Primetime Pastimes, and we'll be happy to have you on. That's easy for me to say. Right. Thank you so much, Taylor. Thanks, Gav. It's been an absolute blast, but not a nuclear blast on a fridge. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Thank you.